Hi there, Neil O'Brien, and we're on to the next section in the course, which is 80/20, and one of my all-time favorite subjects. I absolutely love 80/20 because of the huge impact it can have on a business and the profitability in particular. So I've got a few slides. I'm going to explain to you the context for 80/20, and then the first lesson is how to calculate it. So you can see the whales and sardines there. It's a great way of summarizing what 80/20 is about in terms of profitability. Whales are our profitable customers. Sardines are those losing money or making the lowest amount of profits. Every business has them. Generally speaking, we have a smallish number of whales and lots of sardines. So what we want to do is figure out who the whales are and the sardines. And once we know who they are, then we can do something about changing that mix. We want to get more whales and less sardines. And this can have a massive positive impact on profitability. This is what it looks like afterwards when you've worked it all out. This is a graph showing on the left-hand side here, we've got 3 very profitable whales. In the middle, we've got some making small profits, breaking even. And then below the line here, all these ones on the lower right-hand side are losing money. They're below the line, they're losing money. So what we want to do is change that mix. So this could be 6 or 12 months down the road. First of all, we've sold more to our existing whales, which is brilliant. We focused our marketing on getting new whales here, which is great. And we've minimized the number of sardines. See, look, there's less sardines. It's maybe difficult to get rid of them completely, but less of them. Why do we want to do this? Why do you want to do an 80/20 analysis? Well, here is where the rubber meets the road. In this case, here's a business, and over a 12-month period, the sales went up by just over 20%, 24%. This was after when they've been implementing the 80/20. But just look at the profit, this orange line here. The profit has gone up by over 100%. How is that even possible? How can you grow sales by 24% and profits by over 100%? Well, 80/20 is the answer. Once you know who the whales are, you start taking out the sardines, replacing them with profitable whales, and this has a massive disproportionate effect on your profit. And business is about profit. Largely, sales are great, but I mean, you can have lots of sales and lots of costs and have little or no profit, which is no good to anybody. I like lots of juicy sales and lots of profits. Okay, what are the steps? You need to take a set of accounts for a period of time, a month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and break it out so you have a net profit or loss by customer. You use calculators, probably a large spreadsheet. So I'm going to take you through the steps. You take a profit and loss for a period of time that reflects the business. Now, quite often I would take an annual set of accounts because this picks up any seasonality or whatever. If your business is very similar month to month, you can probably take a shorter period of time. You may be able to take a month or 3 months, but you need a full set of profit and loss. You need all your sales and all your costs for a period of time. Now, what you do then is you get a spreadsheet and you list all your clients along the top. And I know some businesses have hundreds and hundreds of clients. So what I would do then is I'd list the main clients along the top. And once you get down to the smaller level of sales, you can group clients together. So you might end up having 20 or 30 or more. Sometimes if you have a huge spreadsheet, you could have 100 clients. But if you have hundreds and hundreds, you don't need to necessarily have a column for all of them, but you do need to capture 80 or 90% of your sales in those columns. And then at the end, possibly have another category for the smaller percentages of sales. So you get the spreadsheet, you list all your clients and all the sales along the top. Now, if you're a product business, you will have cost of sales. If you're a restaurant, you'll be buying in food and drink. You need to get those supplier costs and list them across. If you make furniture, if you make kitchens, you're buying in timber and all the other materials, you'll have to allocate those to product or to customer, one or the other. Now, 80% of businesses are services. Just like myself, I'm a consultant. I don't have cost of sales. If you don't have cost of sales, you don't have to worry about it because you don't have those costs going through your bank account and going through your accounts. But now, if you're a service business, you will have all the other costs. So sometimes they're called overheads or fixed costs. These are all the other costs that your business incurs. There could be marketing, printing, accounting, and so on. And of course, the big one is probably salary, yourself, and if you employ other people, their salaries and wages as well. Now, a lot of businesses would have accountants, engineers, solicitors, all these kind of people would have timesheets. So people record their time and list the project and so on, and client. So if that information is available, if you're working by yourself like me, then what you need to be able to do is to look at your sales and look at your clients and estimate how much time goes into each one. Okay. Now, I always try and allocate 80 or 90% pretty accurately. If you get down to the end and you have some general costs and it's difficult to allocate them to client by customer, you can do a pro rata. So like if you have 90% of your costs allocated fairly accurately, and I suppose accounting is probably a good example, you pay your accountant, how do you link that to client? There may be no obvious link. So you've all your other costs accurately allocated. You can take some of the general ones and just allocate them on the same basis. So you're going to end up with a profit and loss by client. Now, what I normally do with a spreadsheet, I'll just sort them left to right, a bit like this one here. Come back here. Yeah. So you'll have a profit or loss by client. And I normally just sort it in descending order. Okay. So that you'll have the most profitable here and the least profitable over on the right hand side. Now, I can absolutely assure you, if you do this exercise, you will have a smallish number of whales, very profitable ones. You may have lots and lots of smaller loss makers, smaller clients, because smaller clients generally take up disproportionately more of our time, and we don't always charge them accordingly. The whales are the large customers who give us repeat business. We charge them our top rate. We don't have to over-service them, okay? If it's 2 hours a week, it's 2 hours a week. If it's X number of units, it's X number of units, and that's it. And if you charge your top rate and you look after those clients in an efficient way, then they should be quite profitable. It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes we give discounted rates. Sometimes client work takes longer than we think or we've estimated. Website design is a classic example. You know, somebody designing websites and you've somebody coming back 10 times because their mother, their sister-in-law, their dog doesn't like this color or that font or whatever. That does project creep. A lot of time and hours can go into that over and above what we quote. So we need to be very careful of that. So step one, you need to go and calculate your profit and loss. You do that by taking, splitting out your profit and loss. You take your profit and loss for a period of time, get your spreadsheet, list all your sales, allocate all your costs across the client as accurately as you can, and you'll have a profit or loss by client, and you can sort it like this. And at the end of this exercise, you should be very clear on, oh, these type of clients are my whales. These other ones over here are sardines. I want more whales and less sardines. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. There's the full worksheet underneath this video that'll give you examples of other businesses I've worked this out for. You can see how they've done it. Product business and service business. Okay. Talk soon.